Jiu Jitsu. Jiu Jitsu works best when people get close. It's not about starting fights or looking for takedowns. It's about surviving when someone grabs you, drags you down, or tackles you onto the pavement. It gives you structure in a situation where most people panic. You learn how to clinch safely to stop wild punches, how to stay on your feet when someone rushes you, and how to escape if you end up on the ground. The main goal isn't to submit anyone, it's to avoid getting hurt and to stand back up when it's safe. That's what real-world Jiu Jitsu looks like. When fights get messy, Jiu Jitsu teaches you to manage distance and control one person at a time. You can frame with your arms to keep punches away, control their posture, or clinch and drive them into a wall to slow things down. If you fall, the focus shifts to protection, staying calm, closing the distance, and using your guard play only long enough to stand up. The same techniques that win tournaments become tools to make space and leave. Chokes and joint locks are there, but they're last resorts. On concrete, you don't want to be rolling around or holding someone in a submission while his friend is kicking you in the head. The smartest move isn't finishing, it's escaping. That's the realistic side most people ignore. On the mats, it's one-on-one with rules and soft flooring. On the street, there's glass, curbs, and people yelling. You might slip, get grabbed from behind, or have someone charging at you with no technique at all. That's where Jiu Jitsu shines. You learn to breathe, to stay calm under pressure, and to recognize danger faster than someone who's never trained. The truth is, Jiu Jitsu gives you an advantage in control, not invincibility. It helps when one person attacks and you need to neutralize them quickly and get away. Against multiple people or someone armed, the best Jiu Jitsu move is usually to disengage and run. Real practitioners understand that survival is the goal, not domination. When chaos breaks out and someone grabs or swings at you, no art brings more calm to the storm than Jiu Jitsu, but only if you use it smart. Boxing. Boxing is the art of simplicity done perfectly. No kicks, no knees, no fancy tricks, just timing, balance, and precision with your hands. But when it comes to real-world self-defense, those fundamentals are exactly what make it so effective. Most fights start standing, and they usually start fast. That first swing decides everything, and boxing trains you to stay calm when fists start flying. You learn to move your head, control distance, and throw sharp punches that land clean before the other person even knows what happened. A well-timed jab to the nose stuns someone instantly, giving you space to escape or finish it if you have to. A straight right can end a fight before it even begins. The key is accuracy, not power. Street fights don't last long, and boxers know how to land clean while avoiding chaos. Their footwork keeps them balanced, their hands protect their head, and their instincts tell them when to step in or back away. That kind of composure is rare when adrenaline hits. What boxing really gives you is control over that adrenaline. Most untrained people swing wild, telegraphing every move, while a trained boxer sees the openings and reacts in split seconds. Slipping punches, pivoting out of danger, keeping your chin tucked. These habits can mean the difference between walking away or getting caught. And because boxing builds real conditioning, you don't gas out after 20 seconds of panic. You can move, defend, and breathe while the other person burns out. Of course, boxing has its limits. It doesn't deal with takedowns, grabs, or weapons. If someone rushes you into a wall or grabs your legs, boxing alone might not save you. That's why the best fighters mix it with wrestling or jiu-jitsu for complete coverage. But if you're on your feet, one-on-one, nothing teaches you how to stay calm and hit clean like boxing. It gives you the timing, the confidence, and the instinct to act before panic takes over. In the street, you don't need to be Mike Tyson. You just need to understand distance, stay composed, and land first. Boxing doesn't teach you to fight forever. It teaches you to fight smart, end things fast, and walk away before the situation gets worse. MMA. Mixed martial arts isn't just another fighting style, it's the evolution of them all. What started as a brutal experiment in the early 1990s with the Ultimate Fighting Championship was meant to answer one simple question: which martial art actually works in a real fight? The early days were raw. There were almost no rules, no gloves, and no weight classes. You had karate guys fighting wrestlers, boxers fighting jiu-jitsu black belts. But as the sport evolved, so did the athletes. MMA became the testing ground where only what worked in real combat survived. Today, MMA represents the ultimate blend of skills: striking, wrestling, submissions, and cage awareness, where everything has to work together. You can't just be a boxer or a grappler or a kicker. You have to know how to stop takedowns, throw clean strikes, and recover when things go bad. It's not just technique. It's adaptability. Every second, you're solving a new problem while someone's trying to take your head off. That's what makes it the most complete form of fighting there is. When it comes to the street, that adaptability is what makes MMA so effective. It teaches you how to handle chaos. You learn to clinch, strike, defend, and escape all in one motion. The conditioning is next level too. Most people gas out after 10 seconds of adrenaline, but mixed martial artists are built to push through exhaustion and stay functional. That alone can decide who walks away, but it's not without its downside. Mixed martial artists still train for rules. In a real fight, fight, there are no rounds, no weight classes, and no mats. Concrete changes everything. So while MMA gives you the best all-around skill set, it's still important to remember the difference between the cage and the street. Still, no other system has pressure-tested techniques like MMA has. It's the art that forced every martial art to evolve. It teaches striking from boxing and Muay Thai, takedowns from wrestling, submissions from Jiu Jitsu, and the mindset of staying calm in pure chaos. In the street, that mindset might be your most valuable weapon. Judo. Judo is the art of making someone fall on your terms. Founded by Jigoro Kano in the late 1800s, it refined traditional jujutsu into a system built on balance, timing, and the principle of off-balancing your opponent, so a small movement turns into a clean throw. The toolkit is simple and brutal. Entries, grips, hip and leg turns, foot sweeps, and a handful of pins and chokes once you hit the ground. What makes Judo so effective on the street is that a single well-timed throw can end a fight instantly without needing to trade punches. Limits are still real, though. Throws onto hard surfaces can cause head injuries if you're reckless. And Judo's grip-first training doesn't automatically cover strikes or knives. It shines when you need to stop a forward charge, shut down a grab, or control one opponent long enough to escape. Pairing basic striking awareness and takedown defense with your Judo closes the gaps, because when the clinch collapses into chaos, knowing how to off-balance someone and decide whether to finish or flee is the difference between walking away and getting stuck. Muay Thai. Muay Thai is the art built for brutal, close-range effectiveness. Born in Thailand as battlefield and village fighting, it grew into a system that uses fists, elbows, knees, and shins, the so-called 8 limbs, to punish anyone who tries to stand and trade. What makes it so useful is its honesty. Drills are simple, and the weapons are designed to stop a fight quickly. A clean elbow to the temple, a head knee from the clinch, or a low kick to the lead leg will change the fight in an instant. That's why fighters who train Muay Thai don't look for pretty points. They train to end things. If a Muay Thai fighter did end up in a street fight, here's why their skill set often helps and where it falls short. Their striking is powerful with combinations from elbows, knees, and low kicks that land in tight spaces and that can end a confrontation fast. The clinch instincts for closing distance and controlling posture translate naturally to close quarters fights where long punches don't land. A clean elbow or a planted low kick can stop someone cold, and the conditioning and calm under pressure that come from rounds of sparring give them a huge edge when adrenaline spikes. That said, Muay Thai isn't always optimized for street realities. Fighters don't train for multiple attackers or knife threats as part of their daily drills. Techniques that work brilliantly in the ring need room and timing that rarely exist in an alley. Low kicks assume a shot opponent and solid footing. Concrete and shoes change how those strikes behave. And once the fight goes to the ground, Muay Thai offers little by itself, and wrestling or grappling skills are needed to defend takedowns and escape pins. So the practical takeaway: Muay Thai makes you dangerous and confident on your feet, but it's a single tool. In a real-world scramble, the Muay Thai fighter who fares best is the one who instinctively uses short weapons like elbows, knees, low kicks, and who controls space and then disengages. The real advantage comes when Muay Thai is combined with takedown defense or basic grappling, and taught with the mindset of stopping and leaving rather than fighting a prolonged battle. Wrestling. Wrestling is one of the oldest combat systems humans developed, and its value is brutally practical. At its core, wrestling teaches takedowns, balance, clinch control, and the ability to dictate where fights happen. That skill to choose the terrain is everything. If you shoot a double leg, you decide whether the fight stays standing or ends on the pavement. If you sprawl on a shot, you take the legs away and keep yourself upright. A single slam onto hard ground can end a confrontation without you trading strikes. Top pressure buys time to breathe, call for help, or disengage while the other person struggles to get free. What makes wrestlers so useful outside the gym is simple. The skills become habits. Years of drilling build automatic reactions, so when adrenaline spikes, you don't have to think. You just move. Their takedowns are deliberately simple and brutal. Once on top, wrestlers pin weight, control hips, and use cross faces and hooks to shut down movement. A single clean takedown can neutralize someone faster than trading blows. Wrestlers also bring an often overlooked advantage: posture and base that make you hard to hit in scrambles. Their ability to use pressure while staying mobile lets them shield their head, call for help, or sprint away when the moment arrives. But the limits are real and obvious. Wrestling doesn't do striking, so a sloppy shot can leave your chin exposed to haymakers. On concrete, slams and takedowns carry injury risks to both parties. Multiple attackers change everything. Dropping one person to the ground can expose you to others. Weapons are another game changer. That's why the smartest wrestlers adapt their priorities. Use takedowns to create windows to escape, drive people into walls or cars rather than flat ground, and avoid prolonged ground fights when there's more than one threat. Conditioning and grit are part of the package too. Wrestlers love to be under pressure, and their ability to grind through fatigue make them hard to outlast when things get wild. That cardio buys precious time. In short, wrestling gives you options. It teaches you how to control chaos, Krav Maga. Krav Maga was built for one thing, which was to get out alive. It isn't a sport and it doesn't babysit technique. It's supposed to be brutal, practical, and focused on immediate escape. The drills teach instinctive responses. Strike the soft targets, control the weapon, break posture, and move. Eye gouges, throat strikes, groin attacks, and quick disarms are all part of the tool set, because the aim is to create a window to run, not to score points. What makes Krav Maga useful on the street is its mindset. It trains you to act under stress, use whatever works, and prioritize escape. You rehearse real scenarios like surprise attacks, knife threats, and multiple attackers. The strikes are simple and ugly. Importantly, Krav Maga forces confrontation to be short. The goal is to damage enough to move, not to show off technique. There are trade-offs. Krav Maga's strength is also its bluntness. It doesn't build the deep, repeatable habits of boxing, wrestling, or Jiu Jitsu. If you never spar or roll under pressure, your instinctive cuts may fall apart when adrenaline hits. Knife and gun defenses look good in a drill, but are risky when faced with a real armed attacker. Legality matters too, and eye pokes or throat strikes are effective, but can land you in serious legal trouble if used without clear, unavoidable threat. So, where Krav Maga shines is as a supplement and mindset. Use it to train immediate reactions, awareness, and rapid exits. Combine it with live striking practice from boxing, clinch control from wrestling or judo, and basic grappling escapes from jiu-jitsu. Drill realistic scenarios with progressive stress. Start slow, add movement, then add strikes, so your body learns to react, not freeze. In a street fight, Krav Maga gives you permission to be ugly when you need to be. Karate. Karate is one of the most recognizable martial arts in the world, but in real fights, its effectiveness depends entirely on how it's trained. Originally developed in Okinawa as a system for self-defense against armed attackers, traditional karate was built on sharp strikes, quick footwork, and precise timing. The old-school approach, what you might call dojo karate, which wasn't about point fighting or bouncing around in tournaments. It was about ending a threat with one clean, committed strike. A perfectly timed counter to the jaw, a low kick to the knee, or a straight punch to the body could end a fight instantly if delivered with control and intent. Where karate shines is in discipline and distance management. A well-trained karate practitioner understands how to control range better than almost anyone. They move in and out before the other person even knows what happened. The speed, posture, and explosive striking they develop are incredibly dangerous when combined with real-world awareness. Even modern versions that focus on point sparring still sharpen reactions and balance in ways that translate when things get unpredictable. But the limitations are real. Most karate schools don't pressure test techniques enough. If you've never sparred full contact or felt resistance, your strikes may not land the same way when adrenaline hits. The rigid stances, chambered punches, and pulling of strikes that work in a dojo don't hold up when someone grabs, rushes, or swings wildly. On concrete or in a close space, fancy kata doesn't help. You need adaptability, not form. That's why cross-training is key. Karate gives you the tools, but you have to learn how to apply them when the fight looks nothing like a drill. Still, a karateka who understands real violence, who spars, who knows timing, and who can blend karate's precision with modern practicality is a serious threat. One clean strike can stop a fight cold, and when combined with grappling awareness or clinch control, it turns into a complete self-defense foundation. At the end of the day, every martial art has something that works and something that doesn't. The mat, the ring, or the street, they're all different environments with different rules. But what really matters isn't the style, it's how you train it. Pressure, realism, and mindset decide whether you freeze or move when it counts. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which martial art you think would actually save you in a real fight.